All right, hello. Mason here. I wanted to do something a little bit different today and showcase a deck I've been working on quite a bit, and a deck that I think is pretty good, really. I've tried a lot of different builds. It's one of the things I enjoy in this game, and GOAT format is trying different innovative decks. I think that there's still a lot of room for innovation, even though the meta is partially solved. I think there's plenty of room for innovation and coming up with new ideas and I've tried a ton of different stuff. A lot of it has not worked. I have this weird thing where I try to fit Gravekeepers in every deck, and it just never works. I've tried a lot of different things, and I just like throwing stuff at a wall until I find a deck that works. Usually the cycle is I'll build something, and then I'll think that this is the new meta breaking deck, and then I'll play it and realize within 3 games that it's horrible. But this one, I think we might have stumbled onto something good here. So this is, I'm going to call it LWR, Light Warrior Return. That's what the name I'm going to give it. If this deck ever picks up steam and people name it something else, whatever. That's just what I would call it. And so far it's been good for me. I don't know. I'm not going to go too far ahead of myself. I don't think it's top tier, but I think it's a cool deck, and I think it works well, and I think it's well suited against the meta. So you can kind of see the ideas that we're working with here. 3 Blade Knight. We want to use Blade Knight. It's just such a good card right now. And I wanted to, with running the Blade Knights, try to keep the monster count at least semi-low. This is a higher monster count than your typical warrior build by 3 or 4 monsters, but a lot of times you can make your Blade Knight live, and it's just such a good card, and it really helps fuel your engine. It's kind of the heart and soul of the deck, as well as these 2 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke's, Spies, running around like crazy right now. This card also helps fuel the engine that you're working with. 2 Kaiku. Kaiku is just such a great card in the meta. Obviously, it gives you Dark for BLS, and it just a good card. It helps with your kind of aggressive strategy that we're playing with this deck. 1 Freed, the Brave Wanderer. This is the little bit of spice. This card is super good, super underrated if the deck is kind of built conducive for it, which I think this deck is. We run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lights if you count the BLS and excluding itself, and it's searchable off of Rhoda. You can bring it out and pop Chaos Sorcerers. You can bring it out and pop BLSs. You can bring it out and pop the opposing Kaiku or Blade Knight. Really, really, really underrated, and it helps fuel your return, which is kind of a crucial part of this deck as well. So, Freed. Then we run 2 Shining Angels and the DD Warrior Lady. This is something that if there is a weakness in the deck, I feel like Shining Angel has just not been that good. It just never really feels like it does a whole lot, and I usually end up siding 1 out game 2. And there's a chance I could cut this maybe for something different, but I'm still not 100% sure yet. It's light though, so it helps kind of fuel this light engine with your Freed. In the card I'll get to shortly, and it helps fuel your return. It's good sometimes to set to bait knock when you want your spy to go through. So then the DD Warrior Lady with it. Another kind of spicy card is Soul, Purity, and Light. This functions in this deck kind of like Gigantes does in the Earth aggro deck. It's just an extra summon that you get per turn. It's just extra damage. That's really all it is for me. Is it helps fuel the return, and it helps put extra damage on board. And I think it's pretty good. Then we run 1 Tribe. Again, Spy is just so rampant, so I feel like Tribe's necessary. 1 Exiled. I'm missing a couple parts of the Warrior engine. I want to keep the monster count low, like I mentioned, so there's no Mystic Swordsman level 2, no Don Zalug. Maybe they could go in the place of this Shining Angel, but at the same time I want to keep the light count high, so not sure yet. And then 2 Spy. I think Spy has a really good place in this deck. People talk about Spy as a wall, but Spy is also, a good aggressive card. It's fine when it gets knocked because it's taking theirs out of the equation to help me play more aggressively. It helps fuel the Dark for BLS if it doesn't get knocked. And I think it has a good place in this deck. I really like it. And then 1 BLS. I didn't want to go too heavy on the chaos at this point. That's not the point of this deck. I want to keep the monster count low, play aggressive, and Then the rest of this is fairly self-explanatory. I run 2 upstarts and 2 jar of greeds. I really wanted to kind of keep this thing consistent and have some draw power to help draw into your power card, like return. Only one of return. It can just be a big brick sometimes. And like I said, you're running a lot of draw power with these 2, with the upstarts and the jars, and you get to it eventually. I think 1 is a good number in this deck, and people really don't expect it because they don't see Bazoo. They don't see a lot of cards that would indicate a return's coming. And I mean, you'll see in a replay, there's just so many cool plays with Freed where you'll summon Freed, and pop their BLS, and then with removing 2 lights, and then you attack with Freed and then bring out return, and you're hitting for so much damage. And when they think they have an established board, it's pretty cool. So yeah, just trying to keep it consistent. I think the spells and traps are all pretty explanatory. I think Solemn's really important because this deck functions semi like Warriors when you're not pushing with return, and it just really helps your pushes go through. I just like decks with Solemns in general. That's why I play Warriors when I'm trying hard. And the side deck is kind of, pretty much self-explanatory. All these stuff is for Turbo, including the Mind Control, another Spy against aggro, Saku's against aggro, 7 tools against anything that runs Solemn. Assura Priest is really good in the side whenever you're going up against anything that's, running tokens, because it's light, so it slots in the place of the Shining Angels or Sasuke's if you don't see any spies. Tsukiyomi, Roulette Barrel. Like I said, this is a good card against aggro. I like bringing this in. People really don't expect it. It functions like a 4th spy with a really cool effect, basically, and it's searchable off of Shining Angel. 1 Cliff against, Burn, play things that are running Decree, and then Mobius, kind of in the same vein. All right, so that's pretty much the deck. I'm going to show a couple replays, and these are against good players. I'm not, these is not random ladder matches, and against good decks. And obviously, I draw pretty good, I think, in a few of these. That's just Yu-Gi-Oh. But overall, I think the deck functions pretty well. So I'm not gonna commentate. I'm just gonna let the replays run on fast, so you can kind of see what the deck does. You'll definitely see some misplays from my side. I'm still learning the deck. I think there was one game where I forgot that Freed's effect had to be a monster with higher attack than it, so I'm still learning it, but I think this deck's pretty cool. So let's get to the replays. Let me go ahead and mute my mic real quick. So that's